But let's start with some NBA, Ephraim. And story today, Shams Charania of The Athletic reporting that the Memphis Grizzlies have now joined the bidding for Kevin Durant. And he still says Boston, Toronto, and Phoenix are the front runners. But there's really not much happening. I know every team in the league, I've been told, has made an offer for Durant, but they're low. And Memphis, this is like ridiculous. The Memphis Grizzlies, according to the report, want Kevin Durant, but they obviously don't want to give up Ja Morant, understandably so. But they don't even want to give up Jaren Jackson or Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane. I like Desmond Bane. But if you're not even willing to give up Desmond Bane for Kevin Durant, then how serious are you? Ridiculous. And this is what I think, Ephraim. I think that Kevin Durant, now there were some, my partner on First Things First, which will be returning September 6th. We're going to be moving to afternoons, Ephraim. I can finally get some sleep. A brother couldn't be more excited. We're going to be on 3 to 4:30 Eastern starting September 6th for all you First Things First fans. That's 12 to 1:30 Pacific. I can sleep in. No more waking up at 4:30 in the morning, but I'm happy.
Oh, is that bag you're carrying too heavy? Huh? Is that bag you're carrying too heavy?
See, you wouldn't understand this being out there on the left coast. All right, you wouldn't understand because staying up till 1 a.m. to watch the Bucks in the playoffs.
Guess what?
Staying up till 1 a.m. to watch the Lakers in the regular season. Then having to get up 3 hours later to have a cogent take on it in the morning, which I always do.
We all have choices. This is what you chose to do, man. All right?
I did do that. So, and I'm blessed.
So
it's
living.
a blessing. I ain't complaining.
I mean,
all right.
The bags of money you sitting on, sure, right? Yeah.
I ain't Uncle Phil, though. I'm not. One of us is Uncle Phil, and it's not me.
Well, like I said.
And it ain't just because you ball.
Yeah, well, like I said, we all had choices, man. Tell people this all the time. Should have tried harder in high school.
Here we go. I think there were some, I mentioned my partner, Nick Wright. He thought Durant, Durant checkmated. It was a king move when he went to Josiah and said, it's either me or Nash and Marks, the GM and the coach. But really, that was a power move. I'll give him that in that it created a little bit of unsettlement in the organization because it's like, okay, if we bring him back for training camp, what's that going to look like? But here's the thing Durant didn't think about. Ephraim, he hurt his own trade value. He hurt his own trade value. Number one, you're already 34 years old in September. Number two, you've already only played 90 games in the last 3 seasons. All right, number three, you haven't, as great as you are, and as good as your teams tend to be, you've only proven you can get the ring when you're surrounded by a bunch of Hall of Famers who've already won without you. All right, so it's not like LeBron. If I bring in LeBron and I know, okay, he's high maintenance, we're going to have to deal with some stuff. I know, though, you know what? Everywhere he's been, he's brought you a championship. I can't say that about Kevin Durant. I can say we'll be good. I can't say we're going to definitely win or even get to the finals. And so, not GMs, Ephraim, you know this, they love one thing. As much as they love winning, they love one thing even more than winning. And that's having a job. All right. and right? And you're looking at it like, hold up. Brooklyn got rid of the first coach, who was a good coach, Kenny Atkinson, because KD and Kyrie didn't like him. Then they bring in Nash because KD is feeling Nash. He was a consultant up in Golden State. They got a relationship. And we traded all our assets to get James Harden because you wanted him, KD. And we really haven't even had a chance to have our full team together. You've only played 44 games with Kyrie. And all of that. And you are ready to bail? We've given you everything. We've done everything you wanted us to do. And now you're ready to bail? What is another GM saying? He's saying, yo, I mean, who's to say he's going to want to stay here? Who's to say he's not going to call for my job? And so he lowered his trade value. And look, I get it. It will be uncomfortable, Ephraim, if they don't trade Durant and he's there for training camp. And we'll see if he pulls the trump card and doesn't show. But if he shows, it's going to be tough for Steve Nash. But here's the deal. Steve Nash, they're paying you a lot of money. They've stuck by you through 2 pretty poor coaching years that you've had. So this is the NBA. This is the big boy league. I know it's going to be uncomfortable, but guess what? We're paying you a lot of money to go and make it work.
Yep.
Right? And Eric Spoelstra, you remember this when LeBron and Bosh first got to the Heat with Dwayne Wade? They weren't feeling Eric Spoelstra.
No, they tried. They went to Pat Riley and was like, we want another coach. Pat Riley was like, y'all better go on back down to that locker room.
Thank you. If you going to win, it's going to be with this guy.
Period.
And Sean Marks, now obviously he's not Pat Riley and Joe Tsai, but they have Nash's back. And so they can say to KD, if you want to play basketball and if you want to win, it's going to be here. And it's going to be for him. So if you want to sit out and ruin the last few years of your prime, go ahead. And look at what people are offering. They ain't feeling. I would play it that way. KD, they not feeling you, dude. We were shocked. We told you we were going to move you. We are going to work with you in rich climate. And then we get these these weak offers. They don't love you like we love you, KD. That's how I would play it.
You've been married for long? How long you been married?
27 years.
27 years. So you don't even remember when you was dating, right?
No.
You don't
because we dated for like 7 years.
Oh yeah, well you only been in one relationship for your whole life.
Pretty much. I've been in a few, but it ain't that. Yeah, that's more than half my life.
But for those out there who do date, it's like being with a girl who's always pulling the plug on the relationship, right?
Yes.
You are with her for 2 years. Something happens. She gets fired. Whatever happens in her life, she's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. She leaves. Right? She comes back.
Yep.
Y'all working on it again. Right? Things are good. Right? She got a new job. She's feeling good. Best she's ever felt. Yes. You guys get into a fight. And she's like, you know what? I don't like the way you talk to me. I'm leaving. Right? Then she comes back. I'm sorry. You know what? I was just tripping. Right? Kevin Durant is like that girl or guy in a relationship who was always willing to walk out on it no matter what. When it's good, when it's bad.
Even when it's good.
And you know what type of person that is?
Good point.
Someone you can't trust and depend on.
Yep.
So when you talk about the small market for Kevin Durant at his age, when you can't trust or depend on someone and you're pouring so much into them, how could that ever work? How could you ever feel comfortable in that relationship? And that goes for every GM.
Yep.
He wanted to come to Brooklyn. He wanted to play with his friend. Now he doesn't want to. He wanted to go to Golden State. He wanted to play with Steph and Dre and Clay. And then he didn't. Right?
You're right.
And then he
you
didn't.
are absolutely right. You are
absolutely
right.
So any other team, these are 2 places he desperately wanted to be.
Yep.
Any other team, how could you even take that serious? And how could you mortgage your future for someone who may, in the middle of the night, be like, I'm out?
Yep.
And that's what KD is.
Especially if you're not, I mean, his list, we know it was Phoenix and Miami. And then supposedly Boston and Philly. Well, what if you're not one of those 4? I mean, even if you are one of those 4, to your point, he still might want out.
Still.
But if you're not one of those 4.
You get to Phoenix, it's a little bit too hot. Oh, it's dry out here. I can't. Oh,
Chris Paul's older. I thought he still had more left than this.
I don't know if he can play with Chris Paul, because you know Chris Paul don't play them games.
No, he don't. He don't.
Right? Now, Chris Paul will alienate you now. So what happens what happens if they don't vibe, right?
Right.
What in the middle of the season? What happens when they don't vibe?
And we've seen it.
Yes.
James Harden and Russell Westbrook grew up together.
Yep.
All right.
Boys.
And that fell apart. James Harden helped recruit Chris Paul to Houston, and that fell apart.
Yep. Look at
KD.
KD and Kyrie are boys. He don't even want to play with his boy no more.
The more we flesh this thing out, Ephraim, and I felt this way from day one, but KD, sit back, relax,
play basketball,
exhale,
bro. Just play basketball.
and go to Brooklyn.
Just go hoop, man. That's where you wanted to be.
It's not like you on a bad team. You're not even on a good team. You're on a potentially great team.
Yep. He's one of those grass is greener, but he seems to kill the grass everywhere he goes.
Man.
And then you realize, dang, it's not the grass, it's the person taking care of the grass. Right? We supposed to water this? Oh, man, I'm tripping. Anybody tell me we supposed to water the grass? Right. When I got over here, it was plush, man. It was, you could just lay out. This ain't nothing but dirt now.
Yep.
Yeah, you're supposed to cultivate. You're supposed to water. You're supposed to take care of it. And that's what he's not doing in his career. He's not doing that. He's not a guy that can go somewhere and they instantly become a championship team unless he joins a championship team.
Yep. And look at the teams on this list.
Yep. Of course.
All of them are right there. Boston's similar to what Golden State did.
Yes.
Embarrassed him in the playoffs, got to the finals and lost in a close series. And that's where you want to go? Phoenix,
he be
just
running,
2 years removed, right, from being in the championship. I mean, come on, KD, you're better than this.
Is he, though?
I mean, I hope so. I hope so.
Well, that's what you hoping, but reality is, man, perception is reality, man. How is he better? How is he better than that?
He hasn't proven he can lead his own team to the promised land.
Hey, man, at a certain point, how old is KD?
Well, he's 34. You're right. As great as he's still playing,
you don't get that later.
You haven't done it yet.
Right? You are who you are. That's what they tell you in professional sports. No matter how you feel, after a certain amount of time, you are who you are.
Right.
Right? You don't develop. All of a sudden, you're a leader now, and you're 11, 12.
Not this late.
Right? Like
this will be year, 14 or 15?
You are who you are. LeBron James has shown he can go to anywhere and win with anybody. I'm talking about them teams he was taking to the finals with the Cavaliers. I don't even know how they was all in the league together.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is
something.
So you put
up with some stuff. But for a hope, for a wish, for a maybe,
I can't do it. We're going to give
nice, but no. All right.